since I recorded the hello. It's been a while since I recorded the last video, but I felt like this phase that I'm currently in, it deserves a video, so I can look back on it while I'm still in it, and I can see what I was kind of going through. So there's a lot of uncertainty right now in the business based on everything that's going. I'll give you guys some context on where I've been, what we've been working on, and what really we're focusing on for 2026. Again, this isn't um, like an advice video or anything. If anything, what I've learned over the last few months is that there's so much that I do not know after surrounding myself with people who are, doing crazy numbers. You learn, the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. So, if anything, like I want to move away from any of that from this channel. I just want to have this video be like a reflection video in terms of documentation and you know just talking my journey. So just to give you guys a quick recap of the last video I made was about 6 months ago. I basically said that okay, I'm gonna intentionally step back from the agency a little bit, which is why I haven't really been making a video around over the last 6 months, because I was not actually focusing on the agency, so there was nothing really to document or make a video about. Like, it was more so personal things that I was trying to focus on. So I did step away from the agency. I, traveled a lot of places, met a lot of new people, and I tried to slow things down intentionally. And really that allowed me to step out myself and really understanding my drive vacuums and why I want to do what I want to do. And I feel like even though in hindsight, like at a high level, that wasn't like the most, I wasn't hustling the most. I wasn't like working 12-hour days. But I feel like that particular period, those 6 to 12 months, last year in general, that was where I made the most progress personally. And it allowed me to like just step back, which I wasn't able to do before. It was like there was no thinking time. And I think that is what prevented me from really like zooming out and looking at if I'm heading in the right direction or not. And this phase really allowed me to do that. It's like stepping out and understanding if this is really the right lane I want to go in. And one thing I realized at the end of it was that I do really like business and growing businesses. Now, of course, there's some days where I absolutely wish I like everything would just disappear. And there's some days where I'm kind of over the moon. I think with as entrepreneurs, we're almost like in like an extreme bliss state, and it's kind of like we're juggling between extreme bliss and everything is just going wrong. And I've kind of experienced that firsthand. But regardless to say, I did realize that this was what I wanted to do ultimately. But more importantly, I found my own reasons for it, which I didn't have before. Because beyond survival, unless you have really good reasons in terms of why you want to do what you want to do, when it comes to doing the work, you will avoid the work, because chances are every one of you already knows what they want to do, what they have to do, but you're not doing it. And this was the case for me as well. The reason why is because I just did not have any clarity on myself and why I wanted to do things I wanted. So what I've kind of learned over the last 6 months is just zooming out and the importance of doing that. Now, again, I'm not saying that you have to like go to like these long ass trips. I mean, if you have the means to do so, definitely change your environment. This will allow you to like change your thinking patterns and all of that. But just giving yourself, not trying to be busy all the time, giving yourself some time to think and understanding if you're moving in the right direction or not really helps a lot. Now, so after all of that, again, we decided that okay, this is something that we're going to do. So in December, like, we started to go all in on the agency. We built out a lot of systems. So December is naturally like a slow sales month. Holidays are there, all of those things. So we intentionally did that. And in January, we tried to go kind of all in on even expanding our team and building out our systems. But this is when, like, even though December was like a relatively good month for us, like despite it being like a slow sales month, we still were able to get to a decent point. But I think the universe has just been kind of like testing me, and it's been trying to show me something that I'm that I have to like look at the it's trying to teach me a lesson that I'm still not learning, because last 2 months in the agency has been by far the hardest. To give you guys some context, things really started to break after January, right? So in January we lost like 5 to 6 clients at once, and this happened right after a major product improvement push that we did in December. So as in December, we built out a lot of systems, a lot of boot camps, and we were generally excited to roll these things out to all of these new clients who were paused during December, and we wanted to push these out to really help them see what we built out. But a lot of these clients decided to cancel in December, and the timing was just very discouraging because it felt like the effort really did not translate to anything meaningful. In addition to that, like sales was also a little bit slow in December, which led to a massive churn, and it was very difficult because we also expanded our team in January. Like we hired 2 to 3 different people, and that obviously added a lot more overheads to it. So that really made it difficult to like just have that certainty that okay, if this is going to work out. But I think you always have to, like when you're dealing with these issues or these perceived challenges, I always think that like it's the universe is always conspiring in a favor. You just get what you the way you it's all about the lens you see the situation with. And this is something I've learned after you know reading. Like I truly believe in visualization, and you can basically create your own reality. So like I always like to think of it in terms of, if I'm dealing with a hardship, it's because the universe is trying to test me, and because I have this big goal, and if you want it, like the universe is going to test you to see if you're capable of doing it, right? And the fact that I'm being tested, it is a sign that the universe is backing me up, right? So I always like to look at it from that perspective, because when you do that, you're just able to see the bigger picture and not just be so much in your head, and like kind of like boo-hoo me. You don't want to, that's the last thing you want to do. You want this to be kind of an experience that you can look back on. Yeah, I mean, just look at it from like a gratitude perspective, and just see that there's some sort of a lesson that the universe is trying to achieve, so you can build your character and become the type of person who's capable of getting what you want. Because if that wasn't the case, the universe would not be throwing this issue for you. Because if you are able to fix this issue, for example, right now, our acquisition is kind of like a shit show. Like we've changed our offers up, and we're really trying to go with a different kind of avatar and like a specific market. We're still in the pain management industry, but we're trying to go a little bit more vertical, that we've kind of refined all of our systems around. We're really trying to find a product market fit, but nothing we do seems to be working. But I feel like on the other side of it, when everything breaks at once, this is really like the biggest breakthroughs really come after the biggest hardships. So I feel like this is one of those phases where, when if I'm able to like get past it, which I will, like when I get past it, like it will unlock a next level of growth, because this is where most people would quit, right? And you always have to keep that perspective in mind, that like this is really where most people quit. And if you just go past it, you will leave 99% people behind. So really, like this January, what the churn month that we had, what really taught me was that the product alone is not enough. You also cannot rely on people in general. Operations and systems are much more important than I realized, because as we hired these new people, as we like my attention was so much on these people and really making sure I'm ramping them up properly, the clients were neglected. And we noticed a lot of gaps that showed up in our process, like when we were under pressure, for example, onboarding delays, all of these things. It was a really painful lesson, but I feel like I truly believe that it was a very necessary one, so that as we scale, as we have like, you know, 60, 70, 100 clients, like it does not, like when, if you were to learn this lesson at that point, it's going to be so much more painful, because like the stakes are much higher, right? And really, like the way we're currently at right now, like we are really trying to focus on operations this month. Really trying to scale acquisition. Like I said, acquisition has been a little bit. We're trying to like make it click. The real struggle that's really squeezing me right now is we've expanded a lot of these back end expenses with all of these new hires we've made. Because of this churn month, the recurring revenue has dropped and the acquisition side is not clicking. So yeah, it's like it just feels, everything feels a little bit, heavy at this time. So, but I truly believe that there's something positive on the other side of it, and all I have to do is look at it from a positive lens and just believe the fact that this is a lesson and the universe is conspiring in a favor, and all I have to do, this is an opportunity for me to showcase my character and really be calm under pressure and basically show the universe that I'm capable of achieving what I say I want. Right now, one of the also the things is like we made these hires and some of these hires are not really working out even after like investing all of this time training. We're just at this point we're just having to consider letting them go, and really that part sucks a lot emotionally and also financially because we've invested a lot of time energy into training them and all of those things. So I think that's one of the lessons that we also learned this month, is that the growth is not linear. Like it's not like you're going to go from one step to the next step to the next step. There's a lot of ups and downs. It's going to be like a scribbly line, and you never know what life is going to throw at you, but it's all in divine timing. This is something I truly believe. Like if you were to look back at your life, everything that happened to you, good or bad, it was just in the perfect timing because it was the universe looking after you, protecting you, and everything that happened to you happens to you, does not happen to you, that it happens for you. And I truly believe that I'm going to look back at this stage in my life and look back at it from gratitude, because this really allowed me to build a character that my future self is going to be proud of, and that I'll be able to just provide more for my family as well as a result of building that type of person who is capable of handling these hardships. So really, like at the end of the day, like I think the conclusion is I'm just trying to look at this from a positive light. I don't think this is random. I don't think it's a coincidence that everything is just breaking up at once. Like not just our acquisition, our backend processes, our teams, everything seems to be just like fucking up at once. And I think there's a big lesson that's on the other side of it, and this is a big opportunity for me to come out on the other side stronger, more resilient, and with a big with like a character building event. It's not like a punishment, it's more so an opportunity. That's the way I'm looking at this, because most people won't have these problems, and the fact that I'm dealing with these problems is telling me that the universe really wants me to get what I want, and it's just putting me through fire to see if I'm capable of it. So I'm really grateful of everything that I'm going through. I'm grateful of the experience I got. Grateful of the fact that I have enough strength and in myself to get through this experience instead of quitting. And I'm grateful that I have people like you, listening to me, and like people like who you're maybe dealing with similar things, or just hopefully using this video as an inspiration that everything is not perfect, and really like how I like to look at hardships, because one day I promise you will always look back at the hardest times with gratitude that this was the best thing that happened to me and this was the turning point. So I don't really have all the answers yet. I don't know how exactly we're going to get past this, but I want to trust the timing, and I trust that this phase exists for a reason. And I think it's one of those things where these phases exist right before the moments of biggest breakthroughs, and yeah, I'm excited to see what the future has to hold. I appreciate you guys joining in.